Derek Carr is the unquestioned starter for the Saints this upcoming season, but there is some controversy surrounding Spencer Rattler and whether or not he can push him for the job. And while I'm not one of those people that wants to tell people to embrace controversy, I think this is the one time that it actually makes sense for Saints fans, and I'll explain why right here on the Straight Up Saints podcast.
You're listening to the Straight Up Saints podcast.
What is up, Houdat Nation? Welcome back inside another edition of the Straight Up Saints podcast. I'm your host, Chris Rosvoglu, and as always, I'm asking you guys, if you enjoy our content, to like the video. It greatly helps us out, and subscribe to Boot Crew Media's YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate it. So there's been so much talk about Spencer Rattler, and most of it positive. Obviously, there's some negatives, and the preseason wasn't flawless for him, but especially with the way he finished it, there's so much excitement and optimism for Saints fans, and we haven't really had it in a while. And that got me thinking, when the stats come out, the advanced numbers, Pro Football Focus put out his grades after the preseason finale, and that got me thinking about what Spencer Rattler could be, which then brings up our tweet of the week, which is brought to you by Standard Mortgage, your local lender for life. To get in touch with a home loan expert today, you give them a call at 504-569-3902. And the tweet of the week presented by Standard Mortgage that I put out earlier was Spencer Rattler gave us Saints fans optimism for the future in a year where we've been lacking it. He may not end up being a legitimate QB1, only time will tell, but for now, we got hope. We didn't have that last year. And that is something for me, that word hope, that really matters. Because I'm not delusional. I'm not naive to what's going on with the Saints. I don't think the Saints are going to be this, 4 or 5 win team that some people are predicting, but I don't think the Saints are going to be all that exciting this year. I don't think New Orleans is going to be a Super Bowl contender. I think they're going to have a great defense. I think there's going to be some awesome moments, but it's hard to buy in when you don't know if you have a franchise quarterback. And like I said in that tweet, I don't know if Spencer Rattler is going to be a franchise quarterback, but what I do know is there's excitement in the building. That arm is there, the talent, the ability to just kind of make the easy throws and even the hard ones look effortless at times. And it's not just us Saints fans, Greg Cosell, Diana Rossini, Chase Daniel. People are paying attention to what's going on. And these are people way more plugged into the league than I ever will be that are talking about Spencer Rattler and the excitement that the Saints have about him behind closed doors. And this might not pan out. Spencer might get his chance and he might fall flat on his face. But you see it in the preseason that the NFL talent is there. He's had the live reps, whether it's at Oklahoma, whether it's at South Carolina, he's got those reps under his belt. And the one thing for the Saints that we talk about that is a weakness is the offensive line. I would say the one thing that was a huge weakness for South Carolina that Spencer Rattler dealt with was their offensive line. You want to talk about live bullets flying in your face left and right. That's what he dealt with at South Carolina. Constant duress. And you can make an argument if he didn't have to deal with that constant duress, maybe he would have had a better draft stock. And while I'm on the subject of draft stock, it's very easy to say, well, there's no chance a 5th-round pick's going to end up being your franchise quarterback, which, funny enough, the 49ers found out their franchise quarterback is a 7th-round pick. The Patriots found out their franchise quarterback was a 6th-round pick. Spencer Rattler is not your normal 5th-round pick. If we were to rewind the clock a couple of years ago, we're seeing him at Oklahoma playing well in his first year, and we're saying, okay, he's definitely going to be a 1st-round pick when it's his time to go. Things just didn't pan out. And for him, obviously that part stinks from financial reason. From a maturity standpoint, he's gained so much, and you see it. He is all in right now in terms of being the best possible quarterback he can be and continuing to learn and grow. And like I said, I think the best scenario for Spencer this year, I'll say it a couple more times before this season even ends, is just to watch. I think the best scenario is for him to sit, not have to be behind that, putrid offensive line and learn. And then next year, we start talking about it. But for Spencer, though, if he gets that opportunity at some point this year, we all have to embrace it. Because for us, there's 2 things that plague us as Saints fans: quarterback play and the cap situation. Now, a coach is also a problem, but we'll talk about that for another day. I feel like I've exhausted so much energy on Dennis Allen over the last year, maybe 2 years. If Rattler is the answer, he solves the quarterback problem and he solves the cap problem. And again, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. But for us Saints fans who have dealt with an offseason where they really didn't do much, and the one exciting signing they had immediately got derailed by us finding out Chase Young needed neck surgery, Spencer Rattler is the hope that you cling on to because you want a better future for your Saints team. Because as much as we like to complain in life, and Lord knows I love to complain in life, I want to see the Saints be a good team above all else, above me complaining about Dennis Allen, above me being right about a prediction. I could give two shits if I'm right. I'd rather be wrong every day of the week if that means the Saints are successful. And I think the Saints can be successful if this kid ends up being their franchise quarterback. And we don't know if it's going to happen for sure, but we have hope and we should cling on to it. We shouldn't just try to snuff out controversies to worry about Derek Carr's feelings or Dennis Allen's feelings. I really could not care about that any less than I already do. So Spencer Rattler is the hope for us fans. I don't know if it's going to work, but right now it's exciting. And I just can't wait to see how this all plays out. So what are your thoughts on the Spencer Rattler quarterback controversy going on? There have been rumblings. Again, Derek's the starter. There's no question about it. But I'm starting to think that this is the last year of him as a starter, and Spencer's time is coming sooner than people think. Curious to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments section below. But that's going to wrap it up for another edition of the Straight Up Saints podcast, the destination for